Welcome back. So today we're going to talk about Coda, which is an online productivity software that you can use to make docs for like pretty much anything. If you haven't heard of it, you can think of it like Notion, but with some more flexibility. And I really like the platform. I use it for shot lists for videos, and I use it at work as a to-do list and to like plan out projects when I'm working on them. But it isn't without its issues. I mean, I still actually do the writing for the scripts for these videos in Apple Notes. I even built this doc with the intention of using it as like an all-in-one video planning tool and building eventually a YouTube studio pack for Coda that I could then use to track metrics, but I just can't fully make the switch yet, but I'll get to that. I think the best part about Coda is that like at its core, it feels like it's built for makers and people who just like to build stuff. And by that, I mean there's like an endless amount of flexibility for like personalization, configuration, and like optimization of your workflow in a doc so that you can build it to work specifically for you and your needs. So like a basic doc, you have a ton of options. Like you can store data in lists or tables. You can add images, GIFs, and a variety of other media and files. You can make buttons, or you can even add multiple pages to have like a hierarchy to your data and information. You can even write formulas for like custom behaviors that you can then tie to a button or like an automation on a table or something like that. Like the possibilities are just endless. And if that wasn't already enough, you can even go one step further by accessing other third-party APIs through your doc using a pack. And there's already a ton available in the gallery, like ranging from Google's natural language processing to a Spotify pack that you can actually use to make your own Wrapped. But if you can't find one that fits what you need or is tied to a service that you're looking for, you can just make your own. Personally, I haven't had a chance to make my own pack yet. I do have plans to in the future, but they provide a ton of sample code and templates and resources to help you get started with this, ranging from just getting access to the API all the way to exposing those values and stuff to Coda so you have access to it through your doc. And once you've made a pack, you can even publish it to a gallery like I mentioned earlier, so others who are looking for a similar functionality can download your pack and get started with it without having to build it themselves. Also, based on this interview I saw with the CEO a while back, you'll eventually even be able to monetize what you build. It's really cool how Coda provides this like super flexible platform for their product, and then their community can build on top of that to create like even better docs, even better packs, and like give everyone as a whole a better experience. And also that possibility for monetization in the future really provides some more incentive to build something really cool that you can later share down the line. I did see this doc that I'll link down below the like button, but it basically walks you through monetizing a doc as Coda stands now before they build out a marketplace or something, which I think is a really good place to start if you're looking to get into it. Also, they have this really awesome program called the Maker Fund. So you just apply with an idea for a doc or a pack, and if you're selected, Coda will provide you with funding, resources, and promotion for your project, which is really awesome for a platform to do. They're really enabling their community to build really cool things using their software and removing any barrier that you might have to doing it. And even outside of the Maker Fund in general, they have some really good resources. Like when I was working on my CNC tool library, I needed to make a custom formula that when I hit a button would simultaneously modify 2 tables, and I didn't know where to start with that. So I looked into their documentation on formulas and how you can modify tables. And using just that, I was able to get most of the way there. But eventually I just couldn't get it to make the same modifications that I wanted. So I ended up reaching out to their support for help. And I didn't really expect much, to be honest, based off past experiences. But like, I was shocked. Shout out to Kristen and the Coda support team. But like, I submitted a ticket, I shared my doc, and I kind of explained what I was trying to do with the formula. And they just sent me back just a finished formula to try out, and after a little bit more back and forth, we were able to get it like really dialed into getting the exact behavior I was looking for. And I can't say I've ever had this good of a support on any software I've ever used, especially one that I don't even pay for. And while Coda like might have this really good platform for building things and like top tier support and resources from my experience, there's still some problems. And I think my main issue with it is just the mobile app. So I've tried it on iPhone, I've tried it on Android and iPad, and it doesn't feel like the same experience as when you're using Coda on your computer. Like, it just feels like there's something missing. Like I mentioned earlier, I still write and plan like the scripts for these videos on Apple Notes. since I do find it really convenient to just pull out my phone sometimes when I have an idea and just jot it down or add a little bit, make some modifications to what I've written. And I was working on a doc to do this in Coda. I guess it would even be a little more streamlined since I could move between different pages and create links between a video script and like the shot list. But the app is just a little frustrating for me to use. It feels a little slow, and honestly I found it only to be useful for making like really simple edits to a doc. Like let's say if I wanted to add a page to a doc, you can't do that on your phone. I'd have to go to my computer, add the page, and then go back to my phone. I actually ended up finding a workaround where I could program a button to add a page, so I could hit that button on the phone and that would then add a page without me having to go back to my computer. But I feel like I shouldn't have to find a workaround for what I feel like is a pretty core feature of the product. And yeah, you could argue to just use the computer and set some time aside for it, but I personally like a lot of flexibility with how I work. So I like to be able to just pull out my phone and write down an idea along with any thoughts I might have, or pull out my phone to add some thoughts to a script while I'm using something and I want to make sure I include it, but I don't want to forget anything by the time I get back to my computer. Also, going back to the iPad app, it really just kind of feels like a scaled up version of the phone app. And I wish it would take advantage of the things that like make me pick up an iPad, like the pencil or just any stylus in general. There is now Scribble, so just like handwriting can be converted straight to text on an iPad, but I'd still love the ability to just draw. Instead of like adding a table, if I could add like a sticky note or a canvas as like a dedicated place to draw in a doc, I think that could be a game changer and really take advantage of the iPad and like the different things you can actually do with a pencil. And being able to work on a doc offline would be nice. Like sometimes I just enjoy writing outside. There is offline editing, but that requires like having the doc opened and loaded before you lose connection. And that's also only available through a browser. I feel like to add the functionality of working offline without loading it before would mean like a standalone Coda app. So I'm sure that's more like long-term implementation, not something they can fix very quickly, but it is still just something that would be nice to have. I feel like Coda is super flexible when you're building things and creating a doc, but also fairly inflexible with how you can interact with it. And I think that's what always keeps me going back to Apple Notes, the flexibility of being able to start an idea on my phone, flesh it out on my laptop, and then continually on the fly add changes just by pulling out my phone. Yes, Coda is for makers and people who love to build and tinker and don't just want a generic solution for something, but it does have its frustrations. I really do hope they continue to improve it and make an even better platform, especially on the mobile side specifically. Until then, I think I'll have to keep my workflow divided between Apple Notes and Coda, but thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe down below for more videos about tech, cameras, and making. Here's a video about a watch band, and here's a video that YouTube thinks you're gonna like the best.